Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak directly to the place in you that feels tired. A part of you that's been faithful, obedient, hopeful, and still waiting. You've prayed. You've fasted. You've worked. And still, the manifestation has not yet arrived. Let me tell you something foundational. Delay is not denial. We must stop interpreting divine timing through the lens of our emotional impatience. There is a difference between something being withheld and something being prepared. The answer you're waiting for is coming, but it's not just about the answer. It's about whether you're becoming the kind of person who can handle the answer. The season of waiting is not punishment. It's preparation. The reason many people faint is because they have not been taught that the process is part of the promise. The process is where character is refined, where vision is tested, and where purpose is clarified. You see, faith is not a feeling. Faith is a conviction rooted in truth, anchored in purpose and activated by action. It is the ability to move forward even when there's no evidence of progress. So I'm here to tell you today, don't stop now. You're closer than you've ever been. You may not see it in your hands, but it's already in your future. Don't confuse silence for absence. Heaven has not gone quiet. It has gone strategic. There is a moment right before breakthrough when everything feels like it's falling apart. That is the pressure before delivery. Don't walk away in the final hour. You've come too far to give up now. Hold fast to the vision. Guard your belief like a treasure. And remember, the very fact that the wait has been long means that what's coming is worth it. Have faith. Keep walking. Stay faithful. The answer you've been praying for is on the way. Many individuals misunderstand the seasons of waiting, assuming that when something doesn't happen on their timeline, it must mean it will never happen. This misinterpretation often leads to frustration, discouragement, and eventually abandonment of vision or purpose. However, it is critical to understand that in the realm of purpose and destiny, delay is not the same as denial. The two serve different functions. Denial is a finality. It means no. But delay is a process. It says not yet. And not yet is not a rejection. It is an invitation to grow, prepare, and align with the magnitude of what you're about to receive. Delay is often misunderstood because we live in a culture that values speed over process. We want instant results, immediate responses, and quick breakthroughs. But destiny doesn't respond to demand. It responds to development. Time is a tool in the hands of purpose. What we call a delay is often divine orchestration working in the background to ensure that what is coming aligns perfectly with your readiness. There are times when what you have asked for is already done, already set in motion, already prepared. But if you received it prematurely, it would not bless you. It could break you. The issue isn't always whether the answer exists, but whether you are in position to receive it. Many things we call delays are actually acts of mercy. They are purposeful pauses where unseen adjustments are being made both in the environment and in you. A delay is a season where God strengthens your identity, builds your character, matures your emotions, and stretches your faith. It is not idle time. It is formative time. In fact, most of the breakthroughs people admire are preceded by silent seasons filled with unseen preparation. There is an important principle at play here. Every promise has a preparation period. Think about a seed. When it is placed in the ground, there is no immediate sign of growth. But beneath the surface, the seed is breaking, expanding, and forming roots. The soil doesn't deny the seed, it cultivates it. It conceals before it reveals. Similarly, your season of delay is not proof of abandonment, but proof of a greater process taking place underneath the surface of your life. In understanding the difference between delay and denial, we also have to examine our emotional posture during waiting. One of the most dangerous responses to a delay is to interpret it through the lens of fear or rejection. When your heart is not anchored in truth, you will begin to believe lies that you are forgotten, that your prayers don't matter, that maybe you heard wrong. But if you are rooted in understanding, you will know that purpose takes time to mature. And timing is not random, it is strategic. Purpose moves at the speed of preparation. One of the most profound truths about delay is that it tests the integrity of your faith. It reveals whether you believe in what you cannot yet see. If faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, then delay is the classroom where faith is proven. In the waiting, your vision is either sharpened or blurred. That's why it's critical to stay focused on what was spoken. What you see may look like nothing is changing, but what was spoken is still alive, still active, still moving toward you. Delay has a way of exposing our dependency on timing instead of trust. Many people trust God's promises as long as they fit within their expected schedule. But when the timeline stretches, their trust begins to shrink. This reveals that their confidence was in a plan, not a person. But divine purpose does not serve your schedule. It aligns with heaven's calendar. And when you understand that, you no longer panic in the delay. You prepare in it. Delay is the environment where strength is built, discernment is sharpened, and false attachments are removed. If received correctly, it becomes a gift, an undesired but necessary step in becoming. And perhaps the most important revelation is this: when the appointed time arrives, everything that felt like a delay will suddenly make sense. What once looked like a detour will be recognized as divine direction. The wait was not wasted. It was working for your good. Purpose is the cornerstone of perseverance. Without a clear understanding of why you are doing something, it becomes incredibly difficult to sustain effort over the long haul. Purpose is what gives meaning to your journey, and without it, the challenges along the way may seem pointless, causing you to quit when the obstacles become overwhelming. But when your actions are rooted in purpose, perseverance becomes a natural outgrowth of your commitment to that purpose. In essence, purpose does not just inform what you do, it empowers you to keep doing it, even when the path gets rough. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you develop an internal motivation that outlasts external circumstances. Its motivation doesn't depend on whether things are going well or whether people are cheering you on. When you know why you're on the journey, you keep moving forward, even when it seems like you're not making any progress. In fact, purpose redefines the very nature of setbacks. What I see a failure. A moment is often a stepping stone toward the realization of your purpose. Purpose teaches you to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, refine your skills, and adjust your approach. Consider someone who is training for a marathon. The grueling hours of running, the sore muscles, the exhaustion, none of this is pleasant in the moment. But the person pushing through these challenges is not doing it simply for the sake of pain. They have a goal in mind, a vision of crossing the finish line, and this vision fuels their determination to keep going despite the discomfort. Without the purpose of completing the marathon, those long training sessions would seem pointless and unendurable. However, when purpose is the driving force, the very pain you encounter along the way becomes meaningful because it is linked to something greater. Purpose is also the key to developing resilience.
Resilience is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, and disappointments.
If you don't understand why you're facing these challenges, it's easy to become discouraged and give up. But when you're grounded in purpose, setbacks no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles. They become part of the process. You understand that the road to success is rarely linear. There will be twists, turns, bumps, and detours, but purpose helps you stay on track. It reminds you that what you are going through is not just for the moment. It's part of a bigger picture, and eventually the pieces will fall into place. One of the critical aspects of purpose is that it aligns your efforts with your values. It ensures that you are not simply going through the motions, but are engaged in something that truly matters to you. When your actions are aligned with your values, it's easier to stay motivated even when the external rewards are not immediately visible. Think about a parent raising a child. There may be sleepless nights, financial sacrifices, and emotional struggles. But the purpose of nurturing and raising a child gives meaning to every sacrifice. In the same way, your purpose will give meaning to your struggles, and this understanding will keep you grounded when you face challenges that seem insurmountable. Purpose also brings clarity during moments of confusion or doubt. There will be times when you question whether your efforts are worth it or whether you're on the right path. These are moments when your purpose must become your anchor. It's easy to get distracted by the noise around you, the opinions of others, the pressures of society, or the temptation to follow someone else's path. But when your purpose is clear, you can tune out distractions and focus on what truly matters. This clarity gives you the strength to persevere, even when the way forward seems unclear or difficult. Another powerful aspect of purpose is its ability to renew your strength. Life can be exhausting. There will be moments when you feel like giving up because the road ahead seems too long, too arduous, or too uncertain. But purpose has a way of renewing your energy. It gives you a reason to keep going when the physical and emotional energy to continue seems depleted. The more you pursue your purpose, the more you discover new sources of strength that were previously hidden within you. Purpose fosters a deep sense of fulfillment. When you know that your efforts are connected to something greater than yourself, you derive satisfaction not only from the end result, but also from the journey itself. The small wins, the incremental progress, and the growth that comes along the way all become part of the reward. Even when external recognition is absent, purpose allows you to feel a sense of accomplishment. It's not about the applause or the accolades. It's about the fulfillment that comes from knowing you're moving towards something meaningful. Ultimately, purpose transforms the way you experience the challenges of life. Instead of seeing them as burdens, you begin to see them as necessary parts of the process that will refine you and prepare you for the fullness of your destiny. With purpose at the core of your actions, perseverance becomes less of an effort and more of a natural expression of your commitment to the cause. And so, the question is not whether you will face difficulties, but whether you will allow your purpose to sustain you through them. Faith is often misunderstood as simply a belief in something that will eventually happen, something that we hope for but can't yet see. But in reality, faith is not passive. It is an active, intentional trust that fuels both action and persistence. Faith isn't merely sitting and waiting for things to unfold. It is the confident expectation and constant movement toward what is promised, even when it hasn't materialized yet. Faith is dynamic. It demands engagement. It requires you to take deliberate steps, even when the path ahead is unclear. One of the most powerful aspects of faith is its active nature. Faith moves you beyond hoping for a change to actually becoming part of the change. It compels you to make decisions, take risks, and move forward even when circumstances seem to contradict the belief that your desired outcome is on its way. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, when what you expect to happen aligns with the reality you see. But the true test of faith comes when you are faced with uncertainty, when everything looks impossible, and when there is no immediate evidence of the outcome you're trusting for. It is in these moments that faith truly becomes active. Active faith is about continuing to move forward in alignment with what you believe, regardless of the external circumstances. It requires that you do more than just wait for things to change. You need to engage with the process of change itself. In fact, faith that isn't accompanied by action is not true faith. It's hope. Hope is powerful, but hope alone cannot produce results. Faith, on the other hand, is belief in action. It is the trust that you will see the fulfillment of your vision and the commitment to act in accordance with that trust, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Consider the story of someone starting a new business. There are 1,000 uncertainties, risks, and potential setbacks that could easily derail their efforts. But faith in their vision, in their purpose, in their capabilities drives them to take the necessary steps, even when they don't have the full picture. Every move they make, whether it's networking, developing a product, or adjusting their strategy, is done because they trust that every step, no matter how small, brings them closer to their goal. They don't wait for everything to be perfect. They take action in faith, knowing that what they are doing is leading them to the right place. In this way, faith moves beyond the abstract and becomes something tangible, something that shapes their everyday decisions and actions. Active faith also involves being consistent, even in the face of delay. There will be moments when you don't see immediate results. There will be times when the vision seems far away, when things don't appear to be moving forward, and when frustration sets in. But faith is not based on what is visible. It is rooted in the unseen. It is about trusting that your efforts are never in vain. Even when things appear stagnant, active faith understands that the invisible forces of preparation and alignment are at work. It understands that there is a process of growth, both in you and in the situation you are trusting for, that is unfolding behind the scenes. This is where the concept of moving mountains with faith comes in. Faith isn't about simply praying and wishing for things to change. It's about taking steps that may seem insignificant to others, but are rooted in the belief that what you are doing is part of a greater plan. Active faith means that you speak to challenges and you act upon the promises, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward the manifestation of what you've believed for. It requires movement towards your dream, even when you can't see the entire path laid out before you. Faith also pushes you to adapt when things don't go as planned. Sometimes in the journey of life, things will not unfold in the way you envisioned. The steps may be slower, the obstacles more daunting, and the outcomes more challenging. But active faith doesn't allow you to become paralyzed by unexpected changes or setbacks. Instead, it empowers you to learn from the challenges and adapt your approach while staying grounded in the belief that the end result is still within reach. It is this ability to adjust and realign without losing sight of the ultimate goal that makes faith active. Uh, Active faith, it continually reminds yourself of your vision and stay aligned with your purpose. It is easy to drift off course or become distracted by external circumstances, but active faith keeps you anchored in the belief that your vision is worth pursuing. It is not about waiting for conditions to be perfect. It is about moving forward in the direction of your dream, regardless of the current state of affairs. When you trust that the outcome is already secured, your actions align with that belief and begin to shape the reality you are expecting. Faith functions like a magnet, drawing toward you the resources, opportunities, and people that are necessary for your journey. But for that magnetism to work, it must be in constant motion. When you sit passively, waiting for something to happen, you block the flow of those opportunities. But when you move forward with faith, acting on what you believe in, you open the way for alignment and manifestation to occur. Active faith is ultimately about living with the conviction that your actions matter. It is the trust that what you do today shapes the possibilities of tomorrow. It is not enough to believe that the future holds great things. You must actively move toward it, trusting that every step, every decision, every act of obedience is a part of the divine unfolding. Faith is not simply an idea you hold in your mind. It is the life you live, the work you do, and the way you carry yourself as you walk toward what you know is coming. Vision is not just about seeing what is visible. It's about seeing what isn't yet seen with the eyes of your spirit. It is the ability to perceive the unseen possibilities, to trust in a future that has not yet arrived, and to live today in light of what is coming. Vision gives you the strength to endure, to persevere, and to remain faithful in the waiting. In moments of uncertainty and silence, when it feels as though nothing is moving, your vision acts as a beacon of hope that guides you forward, reminding you that the promise is still on its way. When you are in a season of waiting, it can be easy to lose sight of your goals. The absence of immediate results, coupled with the passage of time, can make you question if what you believe for will ever come to pass. This is where the power of vision becomes crucial. Vision serves as the fuel for your faith, sustaining your belief when circumstances seem to contradict what you hope for. It helps you to understand that what you're going through is not the end, but a necessary part of the process that is leading you to something greater. Having a clear vision gives you direction and clarity. It's like a roadmap that guides your decisions and actions. In the midst of waiting, when you might feel like you're standing still, vision ensures that you remain focused on the end goal. Without vision, waiting becomes aimless. When you cannot see where you are going, it's easy to lose your way or become discouraged by delays. But when your vision is clear, waiting is transformed into a purposeful act. You don't wait in fear or uncertainty. You wait with expectation, knowing that everything you are experiencing is working together for your good and for the fulfillment of the vision you hold. A powerful aspect of vision is that it doesn't just give you direction, it keeps you engaged with the process. Vision is not simply about the destination, it is about the journey that takes you there. It is easy to get caught up in the desire for immediate gratification or instant results, but vision teaches you that the process is as important as the outcome. The growth you experience while waiting, the lessons you learn, the strength you develop, the character you build is just as vital as the end result. Vision helps you understand that every step, every moment of waiting is part of the greater story that is unfolding. It teaches you to trust the process because you know that it's shaping you into the person you need to become to handle what is on the way. One of the most important things to remember is that vision doesn't require immediate fulfillment to remain relevant. Many people abandon their vision because they don't see instant results. They believe that because things haven't changed yet, they never will. But vision works in the opposite way. It requires persistence. Vision demands that you hold on to the belief that the promise is still on its way, even when nothing seems to be happening. During times of waiting, vision enables you to stay grounded in your purpose and to keep pushing forward with patience and resolve. During seasons of waiting, vision becomes even more powerful. It is easy to stay focused and motivated when everything is progressing as planned, but it is during delays, when things seem stagnant, that vision truly proves its worth. Vision is what keeps your heart burning with desire, even when the promise has not yet arrived. Without vision, waiting can feel like an endless cycle. But with a strong vision, waiting becomes a period of preparation and anticipation, knowing that the manifestation of your vision is on the other side of this waiting period. Vision provides the context in which waiting makes sense. Without it, the waiting feels purposeless and discouraging. Vision also keeps you from making decisions based on temporary emotions or external pressures. When things are tough, it's easy to make hasty decisions out of fear, doubt, or impatience. But vision forces you to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. When you can see the end result clearly in your mind, you are less likely to make decisions that will divert you from your path. Vision acts as a safeguard, ensuring that your choices align with the greater purpose and the long-term goals you are working toward. It helps you to resist the temptation to take shortcuts or make compromises just to see quicker results. Vision serves as a source of inspiration. When you are unsure about the future, when you feel drained from the effort of waiting, your vision can reignite the fire within you. It helps you to see beyond your present circumstances and to remember why you started in the first place. Vision inspires persistence, helping you to keep moving forward even when progress seems slow. It reminds you that your efforts are not in vain, that everything you are doing, no matter how small it may seem, is a step closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. The power of vision in the midst of waiting is that it helps you to hold on to the promise, even when everything else around you seems uncertain. It helps you to stay faithful when the journey is longer than you expected, and when the road is harder than you anticipated. Vision brings clarity to your waiting. It helps you to understand that the fulfillment of your dreams is not just about receiving a blessing, but about becoming the person capable of stewarding that blessing. Vision teaches you to trust in the process, knowing that every delay, every challenge, and every moment of waiting is shaping you for the next level. When you allow vision to fuel your waiting, you transform what could be a time of frustration and doubt into a season of preparation and growth. You begin to see waiting as an opportunity to refine your skills, strengthen your character, and deepen your resolve. Vision turns waiting into a purposeful journey, ensuring that you emerge from this season not only with the fulfillment of your dream, but as a stronger, wiser, and more capable individual.